By
Marshall's buyers hustle for the latest trends. From fashion.
Double denim is back.
Got it.
To beauty, so you don't have to.
That is the deal.
We get the deals. You get the good stuff. Marshall's.
If you have Graves' disease, gritty eyes could be more than a rough patch. People with Graves could also get thyroid eye disease, or TED, which may need a different doctor. Find a TED eye specialist at isitted.com.
Tomorrow on ET, only we are behind the scenes with the all-star voices of IF, plus our Station 19 exclusive with Boris the Boss.
It's being announced right here live on ET.
It's an exclusive, yes.
Well, he really needs to start working out and getting in shape and pulling it together, huh?
Nicole Ari Parker knows her husband is fine. Listen, okay, we leave you now with first photos of Blake Lively and just
happening now.
Was it justified? New video shows the moments leading up to a trooper shooting and killing a man this week in Converse. Coming up, the questions we have for DPS.
All eyes on authority radar the rest of the day and even into tonight. I'll have a full update and talk about the primary threats from potential storms in just a bit.
A lot of bad things can happen when a foster child ages out of the system, and here at SJRC, they are trying to prevent that. I'm Courtney Friedman. Coming up tonight, what support and programming they offer.
The news at 5 starts right now.
First at 5, new video showing the moments leading up to a trooper shooting and killing a man. This happened back on Monday in Converse on 1604 and FM 78.
We are not showing the part of this video when the trooper pulled the trigger. DPS says that trooper chased 37-year-old Luis Navarro after he failed to stop. He crashed into another car, then got out and approached the trooper, as you saw in that video. A spokesperson says Navarro refused to follow the trooper's commands.
A woman who saw it all unfold spoke to our Daniela Ibarra, and Daniela is with us now. Tell us, this is pretty shocking video.
Yeah, and we want to be totally transparent with our viewers. This is something we normally don't do, which is pay for the video. Our newsroom, we had a long discussion about this morning, and we decided this video, it's important for you to see because it raises questions about accountability and de-escalation tactics.
A life or death decision made in just seconds. A trooper pulled out his gun Monday, shooting 37-year-old Luis Navarro in the chest.
So when you see that, what's going through your head?
The first thing that I thought was, why did he shoot him? You know, he wasn't coming at the cop. He didn't have a gun or a knife on him.
The woman who recorded the incident asked us not to share her identity. She says she was on her way to work when the chaos began.
So I was in the right lane of 1604, and all of a sudden this van was swerving around me. He almost hit me. And I thought, what is this guy doing?
The Texas Department of Public Safety says a trooper tried to pull Navarro over near New Braunfels. Navarro got away, leading the trooper on a chase that topped speeds of 110 miles an hour. DPS says Navarro crashed into another car.
After he crashed, he ran out of the van. Then the cop tased him, which didn't faze the guy. Then the guy turned around and started walking back towards the cop with his hands up and out towards the cop. And the cop had his gun out. And next thing you know, he shoots him right at the chest.
The witness says she didn't see Navarro hold any weapon, just a T-shirt.
Do you think that this shooting was justified?
I personally don't.
Why?
I don't think that the guy was, or I don't think the cop was in danger of his life. I understand that the guy wasn't obeying his commands, but I don't believe that shooting him right in the chest help the situation. He could have shot him in.
We did reach out to DPS for an interview. They declined, so we asked them some specific questions, including if they found a weapon on Navarro. A sergeant told me he couldn't answer those questions. We also requested a copy of DPS's use of force policy and the body camera video from this shooting.
And Daniela, correct me if I'm wrong, but DPS does not have a policy on releasing body cam video, right? Like some agencies, we expect 14, 21 days. That's not the case with DPS.
Yeah, that's right. And we actually had to request that. So hopefully, or we had to request the body camera policy, so we have to see, or the use of force, I should say. So we got to see.
Yeah, and they have no policy for body camera.
And as far as the video itself, do you know if that has been taken custody of, that video, that DPS now has it, or we don't know?
No, they haven't asked us for it, and we spoke with the woman who says that she didn't speak with troopers the day it happened. She just went on her way.
Yeah, and want to make it clear, this is not KSAT policy to buy video, but in this case, we felt it was important to show. We'd also like to hear from DPS. I mean, that's the big missing piece in all of this.
Yeah, and we asked them a couple times today, and they said that they are waiting for the investigation to continue on.
As do we.
Yeah.
Thank you. To get some answers. Thank you, Daniela.
Thanks, Daniela. To other news, and let's talk weather. Light rain showers have been here and there throughout the day, but the humidity is not letting up yet.
And it's very possible that the weather could get a lot more fun this evening and into tonight. Is fun the right word? I don't know. Adam, what's the specific?
Yeah, I raised my eyebrow to that word fun, okay? But hey, some good, much needed rainfall. Yes, we're already seeing a little bit of that out there right now. Scattered in nature and really widely separated, to be honest with you. Not a whole lot of activity. Currently, we have had a few downpours move through downtown, parts of the north side, the west side, and now stretching particularly up into Comal and Kendall counties, especially Kendall County. But Bulverde just got clipped by this downpour. A little bit of lightning and thunder here, and that's approaching Sisterdale, Candelia, pushing northward. Nothing severe at the moment. However, with our atmospheric setup, we could quickly get a severe thunderstorm. Our atmosphere is very unstable. We just need enough lift to actually get the ingredients mixed together properly. But I do want to point out, we've seen some decent rainfall from even just this one downpour right here. I'll keep the lightning on so you can see where the current strikes are, those white lines. But look at this, in far north Bexar County and even up near Fair Oaks Ranch, this green, Camp Bullis, and into Fair Oaks Ranch, that's a good half-inch of rain already. So talk about a tropical downpour. Quick half-inch of rain right there. Ralph Fair Road on the west side of Camp Bullis and Fair Oaks Ranch area. So efficient rain producers. Problem is, some of these could become severe later on this evening. We'll break more of that down in the primary threats in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. The family of Caitlin Hernandez may be a step closer to some sense of closure after SAPD announced someone has been arrested for her murder.
Yeah, police say the suspect is the male friend Caitlin was last seen with and that DNA links him to that crime. His name has not been released yet because he's a juvenile. Caitlin's body found in a ditch on March 12th. Detectives say she had been strangled and sexually assaulted. The suspect initially interviewed by police, but they say at the time there wasn't enough evidence to charge him.
Police tell us DNA tests and other evidence led to that male friend being arrested and taken into custody without incident. Detectives informed Caitlin's family of the arrest. Her family members say they're shocked to hear it was someone close to them.
Why? There has to be a why. I want to know why. I don't care if it hurts me. Her being not here, she's gone. It's already hurting me worse. But I want to know why. Why did he do it?
Many questions. The family says Caitlin was friends with her accused killer for 2 to 3 years, and they never felt like he was capable of something so violent and gruesome. Coming up at 6, we're going to hear more from the family and what they're asking of the justice system, even though the suspect is a minor.
New at 5, James Brennan, the former SAPD officer charged in the shooting of Eric Cantu in a McDonald's parking lot, will be heading to trial in November. That trial officially set today for November 12th. Brennan charged with deadly conduct with a firearm in the October 2022 shooting of Cantu. Police say Brennan recognized Cantu's vehicle from an evading arrest case the night before the shooting. Body cam video shows Brennan opening the door of the car Cantu was in, and just seconds later, Brennan fires multiple shots at Cantu as he drives off. Brennan fired from the police department. The prosecution was requesting Brennan's psychological evaluation. The city of San Antonio, though, is arguing that is off limits because it's part of Brennan's personnel file with the city. The judge expected to rule on that issue.
You took her from me. You took her from my grandbabies. You ain't. You never will be.
Emotions running very high in the courtroom today as Daryl Johnson facing the mother of a woman he killed. Ramona Rodriguez was murdered outside of a medical center apartment back in May of 2021 during an argument over a cell phone and a charger. This morning, her mother got the chance to tell Johnson exactly how she feels about him directly to his face. Ramona died, leaving 4 children behind. Judge Joel Perez sentenced Johnson to 25 years in prison. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office hoping for your help finding clues about a woman found dead on the side of the road. A young girl spotted that body and called her mother to report it. This is the stretch of highway near Highway 90 and Highway 211 that was shut down this morning so investigators could begin their work. Initially, the teenager saw the dead body lying among trees as she looked out of her school bus window. Her mother went to the scene, verified the body was there, and called 911. The sheriff says the dead woman may have been there for several days.
There is some trauma to the body, but again, it's possible that she was hit by a car, or it's also possible that she was killed and dumped.
The sheriff says the woman has a distinctive tattoo, a floral print done in black ink with no coloring. He says she was dressed in black yoga pants with a blue paisley shirt, and she had her hair in pigtails high on her head. Anyone with information is being asked to please call the Sheriff's Department at 210-335-6000.
Switching gears now, keeping children in their community after they've been removed from their homes. That's the point of kinship placements for foster kids, letting kids stay with family members.
Courtney Frieden sat down with a kinship family who told her about the difference they believe they are making. This is part of our KSAT Community Spotlight this month on foster care.
But it's adorable to watch him with his little pole. And
for the past 2 months, Sherry and Eric Thomas have been caring for a family member's child who was removed from his home.
We got a phone call on a Thursday afternoon, and Thursday night we were picking him up.
They've become what's called a kinship family when a child who has experienced abuse or neglect is placed with people close to them.
It can be someone that you have a significant, bond to, relationship with, family friend. It doesn't have to be a blood relative.
Sherelle Herbert is the specialty director for foster care organization SJRC Texas, where she oversees kinship placements and supports families.
Talk with them and say, hey, what can we do to make this work?
Making kinship work can change a child's life.
We want these children, while their parents are working on things, to remain in their community, remain connected to those in their community, their school, their teachers, their relatives.
Each day it seems like it's getting better and better. I think his guard is coming down. I went and bought him a little fishing pole.
The bike has been.
Day, that's his thing. And so we go out on the back porch and he'll ride his bike.
The goal is always reunification with the parents, but in case that can't happen, they want to be set up for adoption. That's why kinship families are asked to get licensed, which can pull in extra benefits. 49% of foster care placements are kinship placements, and SJRC wants that number to be higher. Part of that is education about help that's available, which can include financial support or free coaching and therapies. This family is urging others to do it.
It's going to all be worth it in the end to know we gave him that chance and that opportunity.
Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
If you want to learn more about becoming a kinship family, you can head to SJRC Texas to their website. You can also help by participating in our phone bank. Coming up on Tuesday, May 14th, you're going to be able to call between noon and 7 p.m. to learn more about foster care, ask questions, even pledge financial support during our live broadcast.
We want to take a live look outside with time saver traffic. And yeah, there have been showers here and there and around the area. So as you're making your commute home or going about your evening activities, keep in mind the roads may be wet. The good news here is right now, there's really nothing much to report. The TransGuide cameras showing us traffic is moving smoothly.
It's still ahead today, May 1st, and thanks to the less than perfect rollout of the new free application for student financial aid, college students are still waiting to hear if they'll be able to pay for school. What the education secretary is now telling students and parents.
I'm Stefania Jimenez, and here's a look at what we're working on for you for the news at 6 o'clock.
Early Monday morning, I basically started going into shock.
That's one of 2 life-altering experiences that you're going to hear about claims of medical malpractice at the hands of military doctors. It's what 2 veterans went through. Our Lee Waldman, in her final story for KSAT Investigates, shows us where the fight for the right to sue the federal government for military medical malpractice now stands.
This is more than just a pile of old timber. There's a lot of history here. We'll have that story coming up.
And that was our Jessie Degollado. She's going to take us to the First Church in New Braunfels. All that and so much more for you on the news at 6.
Thank you, Stephanie. May 1st, traditionally College Decision Day, but glitches in this year's free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA, have millions of students waiting to hear how much college will cost them this fall. That has a lot of students, parents, and student aid experts worried.
A lot of us.
Yeah.
Karen Kafa is in Washington with what the students and families should know if they're expecting student aid help.
May 1st typically closes out the college application process.
They've made the decision about the best college for them, and the hard part is done.
But because of the delayed rollout of the new streamlined free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA, many schools did not receive student data from the Department of Education until March. Once they did, millions of forms were found to have errors, delaying financial aid offers and student decisions. Even the White House acknowledging the impact.
We have said, yes, the process has not gone smoothly, and we're doing everything that we can to make it go smoother.
Jill Dejean of the National Association of Student Financial Aid Administrators says there are concerns that first-generation and low-income students in particular have been too frustrated to finish the FAFSA process.
The FAFSA fiasco of this year has been telling them, don't bother applying for financial aid. It's too hard. The system's broken. We really need to start countering that narrative.
The National College Attainment Network says FAFSA completions are down 29% compared to last year's class at the same point in time. Pressed by lawmakers on Tuesday, Education Secretary Miguel Cardona said the department wants to get the word out that students still have time.
We're doing everything in our power to make sure we're providing more opportunities for students to fill out the better FAFSA.
The streamlined FAFSA cut its questions from a maximum of 108 questions to as few as 18. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Take a look outside with live cam. We've got cloudy skies and a lot of weather to watch tonight.
Yeah, we do. And it's not a very well-defined situation where we have a very specific boundary moving our way and we can tell you exactly when and where we're going to see storms pop up. It's not as clear-cut as that. It's basically equal chances for all of us randomly through the next several hours, all the way up through about midnight. And here are our primary threats from potential severe storms. Hail and high winds top the list at a moderate threat, but flooding, we increase that threat a little bit just due to the tropical nature of these downpours and how much rain we could get in some areas. So there could be some localized flash flooding in parts of our area. Now, notice our storm chances at 40%. That's all the way through about 11 p.m. And then they drop off to 20% overnight. Tomorrow morning, our rain chances bump up to 40%. That's just going to be scattered light activity, that drizzly, sprinkly dampness with a few light showers embedded within it as well. Here's the latest look at Authority radar, and we have a few new showers and storms that have popped up basically upstream near Wilson County and southeastern Bexar County. Not a whole lot to this activity, but it's just some new development. And we have the kind of atmospheric setup, the thermodynamics right now, and instability where anything that develops could quickly strengthen and turn into something strong that would produce hail and maybe even localized gusty winds. Now, I mentioned the flash flood threat. Take a look at the rainfall rates within these thunderstorms. This purple area, this is east of I-10 in Kendall County, just south of Sisterdale, 7.5 inches per hour. It's not going to rain for an hour like that, but still a quick ½ inch to an inch possible within some of these downpours, especially in areas where we see them training or following each other. In this same area already picking up just south of Sisterdale. Oh, we got a new scan right there, 0.8 inches. That's good. This is part of our area where we really, really need the rain. Zooming out, everywhere you see the blue and green on the screen, that's where we've had these streaky showers coming in from the southeast, move into the northwest across our area. But notice not a whole lot of other development out there. Put this into motion for you and you'll see that general storm motion. Bernie, you're just going to get clipped by one of these showers or by the edge of that shower. But again, more development and we'll have this scattered activity throughout the evening and into the early nighttime hours. Just a little bit just popped up here near Castle Hills. We can get close in on that. There you go. Quick splash and dash Castle Hills. This one's not going to add up to much, but I know you did have a few showers previously. And of course, we'll have a big breakdown of how much rain fell and where coming up on the night beat. And we'll be monitoring this and live on the KSAT Weather Authority app as needed too. Off to the west, we're watching the West Texas dry line. There are some indications that if these storms continue to develop in a certain way and organize, then they'd head eastward and we could actually get clipped by some of those later on tonight. It's a possibility, but most of that action is likely to stay just to the north of our area. So the main threat all the way through about 11 p.m. and then tomorrow morning, another damp start to the day. 72, drizzle, sprinkles, light showers as well. Just that moisture that will take, but it's not going to add up to a whole lot. And then a 30% chance for storms into the afternoon. 85, the high temperature, another day in the mid 80s. And then we get back into the low 90s by early next week. Still some storm chances, but only at 20% Friday through the weekend.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
All right. Seems a little early to me, but I'm not Magic.
That's right. Magic Johnson. So Magic Johnson's very unhappy with the Lakers and how their season ended, but Magic Johnson sees bright things next season for the San Antonio Spurs, and it was signing day out at Madison High School. Coming up.
I would want to win every game, of course, but go to the playoffs.
That was part of Wemby's season-ending presser, and one basketball great agrees with the go to the playoffs part in big board sports. Before the NBA season started, odds makers in Las Vegas predicted the Spurs would win around 28 games this season, but they missed that mark, finishing 22-60, the same record they had the season before. Well, after the Lakers' first-round playoff loss to the Nuggets, Lakers great Magic Johnson posted on X that the Spurs will make the playoffs next season, which means they'll have to win at least 20 more games to make that happen. So here's what Magic posted. Laker Nation, we have a problem. All the good teams in the West are young and talented. The Nuggets, Timberwolves, Thunder, and the Mavs. And the biggest elephant in the room is the Spurs, who with Victor Wembanyama will definitely be a playoff team next season. For the Lakers to compete with all these teams, the roster must improve. And over at Madison High School this morning, there were 7 Mavericks who signed on the dotted line to take their talents to the next level. From football players to a male volleyball player, these athletes couldn't have done it without their support system. So after all the hard work to get to this point, what does it mean to these Mavs to have their families with them on signing day?
It means a lot, you know. My mom, this is something my mom wanted me to do my whole life, and she put the path out for me, you know, worked up to 3 jobs for me. I'm just happy to be in this position to make her happy.
To be there with my mom, sign that paper, man, it's something you dream about for the rest of your life, and it's something you're always gonna remember. It's definitely one of those moments you'll never forget.
And as you get to that next level, what are you most looking forward to when you get to your school?
The competition and the food. They'll give me a bunch of good food there, so.
Well, those offensive linemen got to eat, right? And when it comes to playing at the next level, the competition will be raised for most of these guys, but that isn't a worry for somebody like Messiah Bratcher.
To be honest, I'm not even trying to be cocky, but it's I don't really worry about competition. I always know people are gonna be better, so it's just when I get on the field, it's I'm just do me. You can't never put yourself down because somebody's better than you. You always gotta be your best self.
Wise words from that young man. Believe in yourself. If you missed any of our signing day coverage, you can find it on our website, KSAT.com. We'll be right back after the break.
Thanks for watching the News at 5 with us.
World News up next. We'll see you back here at 6.